So people, let's have a look at this elbow in the downswing, this magic move, this right wrist, something I've been looking a lot at recently, and I've got some new information here, some new feels to get everyone on the path to playing their best golf. Let's have a look at this magic move and how we can create this awesome downswing to improve everybody's ball striking.
Now, this is affecting over 90% of amateur golfers worldwide. Have a look at the elbow of the professional here, in against the side. Have a look at the amateur players. Now, the amateurs have a gap between the arm and the body, and the right arm is just not in that perfect position. And you have to have this, right? You have to have this move to become a great ball striker. I'm going to show you now, this is the first part of the video, how to feel this move and get it so quickly into your golf swing. I can't wait to show you this.
Let's have a look at this move. When we're coming down, something I've been looking a lot at the last couple of months, the shaft coming down through the forearm and bringing that club in behind the hands. Now, when we get that position there, you can see where my elbow is, right? Okay, now it's in a fantastic place. It's not here. Have a look at this. This is a good checkpoint, right? Now, what I want you to do is get your alignment stick or your tour stick, whatever you call it, and I want you to hold it between your index finger and your thumb, right? And what we're going to do is we're just going to position it here on that part of your trail shoulder, right? Not up too high, not too low, around about that part there. Now, what we do is when we come down, when it would be in a great position here, you see how I've got some room here from the forearm to the tour stick? Now, you see how I don't? Now, see how it's sort of lined up? And this is what we see all the time. We see this position with so many players, and it just makes a mess. Even their small pitch shots, or the pitch shots, even this area here, and this is what we're seeing. We're seeing the gap. Now, you can just get a feel from this position here first off, and that's going to lead in, and what that does is it just brings the club down in a perfect position. Now, everyone can do that a little bit. For people that have really good external rotation in the shoulder, it makes it easy. I don't have much at all. So this area of leading slightly in with the elbow, if that's the finish line, and you're going to get in there and you're going to hit this finish line before the hands do, and have this arm wrestling move, this killer move, this move into here. This, oh, someone just hit the jackpot there. This is the move we're going to explore here. And there's one fantastic way that we can feel that. Let's have a look at that now. Red, black. Let's have a look at this. Interesting way to look at it. Interesting visual effect here. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my address position like this. So I got red on one side and black on the other. Now, when I take the club, or when I take the tour stick away, okay, what we're doing is we're not seeing the red side. Now, often we'll see amateur players, what they'll do is they'll come in, unfortunately, with the knuckles up, right, and then they can see red. Okay, this causes you to flip, to square. This is what we're seeing. So millions and millions of golfers around the world, they come in like this. And what we want to do is we want to come in, we don't want to see red. Okay, I want to see black when I look down. Now, what's interesting is the direction where your thumbs point. Okay, where your thumbs point.
So guys, where your thumbs point and not seeing the red side of the bat, have a look at the professional golfer here. Have a look at this wrist position and where it's pointing. Have a look at that. Right, now the amateur player coming in knuckles up. See that? See the wrist? See wrist point? This is something that's not looked at. People haven't seen this before. But look at the club face. Look at the club face from the professional golfer. Now, this is essential, right? Because this is evidence-based material. And the closer you get to this, the better you hit it, right? This is where the great ball strikers are. Unfortunately, the amateur players, have a look where the wrist is, knuckles up. And this is affecting all amateur golfers to some degree, right? To some degree. And this is why they flip and stand up and have all sorts of troubles, guys. So getting the feel for this is essential. That's where I'm helping just so many people online, guys. Don't do it by yourself. Reach out to me at WorldClassGolf.com. I'm helping people, pros and novice players, and specialising with senior golfers. Reach out to me, senior swing through to me, guys.
Now, if your thumbs point over that way, you're going to come from the outside. If your thumbs point over this way, you're going to come from the inside. You're going to bring it into the slot. Now, this spot here, this trail wrist, is really, really interesting. So you don't obviously need a table tennis bat and a tour stick, but what it does is it shows you the extension line of really where your thumbs are, or especially your left thumb, where your left thumb is pointing. Now, if you don't see red, because I mean that motorbike drill, that reverse motorbike drill, I think for a lot of people it's a difficult one to feel. But if you can get almost like the logo pointing down, it seems to be a clearer easier picture. Like if you like the motorbike drill, meaning the reverse motorbike drill, if you like to bow your wrist down, get into it. But for a lot of people out there, you'd be just so much easier when you think sort of like your logo is going to point down red and black, and you bring that down so that you don't see red. Now, when my thumb points over there, it's going to shadow the shaft. Now, you can just practice this simply with your golf club, getting up to the top, coming down, and just get the feeling that you're pointing your thumb over into that corner, right? And that'll give you a feeling of where this elbow goes, because when we get this way, watch what happens to my elbow, my trail elbow. Look how it comes out now. Right, so you can think of left side, you can think of right side, but that's a really interesting way, just simply where your thumbs are pointing.
So guys, next year in mid-March, Dr. Robert Neal and myself will be holding golf schools in Orlando, Florida, 2-day golf schools covering every area of the game. Can't wait to catch up with you. I'll get you playing the best golf you've ever played. Reach out to me at craig@worldclassgolf.com, craig@worldclassgolf.com.
So guys, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. That helps us reach more people. Thanks very much. So guys, what a feel this is through the golf ball. What a move this is. And if you get stuck into this, you're going to hit the ball really, really effectively. Oh, I hit that one good. Right. Physically, having something physically touch your arm and keep it on there is the fastest way to create muscle memory. You can physically feel it. In fact, you can practice with it and actually think of something else. Now, this hanger I have, and people know that I have been promoting this for a long time because I use it myself when I practice. It's given me more width and it's shallowed out my plane. And it's the fastest way. I just wish I had had this earlier. Now, one of the things that it does for so many amateur players is it stops excessive wrist break. So when you break your wrist too much, the ring will leave your arm. So what you do is you set it up, it's a couple of finger widths away, and when you swing back, it doesn't touch your arm here, but it touches your arm, and when you've got that, you've got gold, because you get this 45-degree PGA wrist angle that great players have. That's a speed accumulator that shallows the shaft, and you can feel it. Now, when I lose that and it doesn't touch, it comes in steep. This is what brings it in steep. Right? So if you keep the ring, you just keep the ring touching your forearm, right, through the golf ball here, this is what helps us shallow. Right? So it's touching the rings, touching my forearm, see my elbow, and when it doesn't. Right? And this also gets the club face in that stronger position, so you can get more shaft lean. You can get that shaft lean at impact, and this is just an awesome place to be in your swing. Now, when you swing through the other side, what I like to do is I like to try and get a neutral style release, so I'm not rolling stuff over. So after impact, I get the ring to touch the other forearm. So guys, when you're practicing and you're making these drills, these movements, this is the best training aid in world golf for your hands and your wrists. There's just no doubt about it. It gets great structure, it gives you that feedback, and it gives you the entry. And like every week, like I sell this thing because I just think more people should buy it, right? So have a look in the description box. So there's a discount code, man. You've got to get this. This is great for your chip shots and your pitch shots and connection and just improving your all-round ball strike. So guys, I really wanted to add this into this video to help people understand perhaps your style of swing here and the different elbow positions. I mean, there's a lot of information in the internet and it's confusing. We don't all have to bring our arms out in front of us. Right, now we're seeing world-class players with their elbows back behind the body, and I'm going to talk to you about this. And if you're that type of player and you're trying to get your arms out, you could be really ruining your swing.
Now, it's been oversold and overdone, the idea that we all have to bring the arms out, way out in front of us to become a good ball striker, where we see many of the world's great ball strikers with their arms behind them. Now, this is an important part to notice, because if you're trying to do something that you physically can't, or it's not your swing style, you're probably wasting your time. We see McIlroy, one of the greatest drivers of the ball of all time, his elbow's right behind his body. So be careful what you're working on, guys. Understanding your own swing pattern, your own style, the characteristics that match up to it. For players that do get the elbow or the arms behind them a little bit, They can't rotate and twist too early, but you can end up being the greatest ball striker in the world. You don't have to bring your arms out in front of you. You just have to know what you're doing.
Now, physically, we have different body types, right? You've got your endomorphs, you've got your ectomorphs, you've got your mesomorphs, you've got people with rounded shoulders, barrel-chested, thin-chested, flexible, not flexible. And sometimes the shoulder joint, regardless of what you do, you're born a certain way, you can't rotate it externally. You can't get this elbow into that position where Garcia or Tiger Woods or people that are almost like hypermobile. Right? Now what we see, I think this is important to understand, someone like Oosthuizen or even McIlroy, with Lee Westwood, you see them actually with the right elbow a little higher. Right? Now these players that at this point here, that trial elbow a little bit higher. Now for players that can bring their elbow under easy, they tend to bring the club out right out in front of them and still get it on a shallow plane. And these players can turn, generally speaking, turn more and open more. The players that come in a little bit like this, they have to wait for it to touch. So if you're a player and you bring the arm in behind you and you twist your rib cage and you twist early, you're going to get stuck. And that's the worst thing. Left going left, right going right. So if players get a little bit behind them, make sure you have a good big turn and you wait a second, you wait a little bit with this right shoulder, and you might want to feel like your arms are doing a lot in the downswing so that you can get the arms past the body, and yes, then you can turn it. And if you're someone like McIlroy, you can open up a lot and fast and open up a lot down the bottom. So understanding your swing style and what matches up to your body type is important. This is where I help people online, because it's not all people think they know perhaps a lot about swing, but there's not really a lot of people flushing it and hitting it that great. And to get an opinion of a certain component in your swing, that point of failure, to open up the door, to chip away, it's really important, guys. Average effort equals average results, right? You got to get in there with really good information, really understand your own swing, practice then effectively, and this is where I'm helping a lot of people, and World Class Golf is helping, WorldClassGolf.com helping a lot of people. Guys, get stuck into, make sure you're practicing on the correct things to play your best golf. Life's too short to play crappy golf.
Voted Best Swing Analysis and Best Online Instruction by several independent surveys. World Class Golf Instruction is transforming thousands of golfers at every skill level. Do not miss out. This video platform has over 1,400 videos and 85 separate masterclass series. The most structured and detailed video platform ever created, improving golfers on average between 4 and 11 shots. Join the chat room and join the community of world-class golf instruction. This is golf instruction that you've never seen before. The proven PGA corridors, factual evidence-based material. Unleash your true potential with the cutting-edge swing analysis technology. Experience the thrill of progress with the state-of-the-art practice programs and specialized golf fitness plans. Best information available.